gotta think they're maybe racist just because I'm human, they don't want my help. It seems it doesn't really matter if your superpowers fire to the mouth.
What?
Wow, the robot's got a new voice.
Yes, because it's a new robot records to the same place, so he's fancy as fuck. You can only use him.
He sounds like a butler.
Yeah, because he's Alistair. He's all British.
He's got a monocle.
Yes.
That's cool. Hi, guys, by the way. Welcome to our show. We just noticed the robot's different.
Yes, I'm just trying to get in our backup robot, but he's sucking too. So I think I just have to get all of them to join.
That's fine. Keep this in, by the way. Don't edit this.
Yes.
Don't edit this.
Yeah, so we are coming to you, what is today? December 11th. All of the news happened yesterday in geekdom.
By the way, who are you?
Oh, I am Lou Gonzalez, and I am joined by the double Johns. We got John Scott and John Seiler.
What up, Windjammers?
Guys, my Wooble whatever watch has ended.
Oh, no. So we're going to start with, I would say, the lesser of the two big events that were going on yesterday.
Which is funny because this was touted as the big event, but, compared to what happened yesterday.
There were some big announcements during it. We're talking about the Video Game Awards first. So there were some big announcements. There were awards given. I don't know how much credence awards and award shows in general have anymore. In general,
I feel like awards, people only care about awards when the things that they want to win do win, or the things that they don't want to win do win. Like, other than that, it's like there's like this air of like, oh, awards, who cares about awards, until like the thing that you want to win loses, and all of a sudden, like, oh, like, who are these, like, people?
Yeah, no, that is a perfect way to say it. Because, like, the only ones I know is Among Us won Best Multiplayer, which I don't think is a surprise.
Last of Us won all the awards.
And, yeah, Last of Us won, like, every other thing.
Yeah. Which, I don't have
Final
a dog.
Final Fantasy VII won a couple of things, I believe. Like
I do enjoy Last of Us. Like, I get the flaws, but when all is said and done, when I really think about it, it is my favorite game I played this year. That's from a game that released this year.
Yeah, I didn't like the first Last of Us, so I didn't really kind of go out of my way to play it. But like, people seem to like it. Like, I didn't like Last of Us, but people like the first one. People love that game. Like, I don't like God of War, but people seem to love that game. So it's like,
yeah, they're just not my game. Like, that's not my jam, really.
That's fair. But I really watched the Game Awards for the announcements, of which we got a few, starting with the fact that motherfucking Sephiroth is coming to Smash Brothers.
Actually, first off, on the before thing, they announced or they showed off gameplay reveal for Nier Replicant, which is pretty neat.
Ooh,
which is
I've never played Nier games, any of them. So
Nier for like the PlayStation, I think I forget like what this is exactly is, but like, yeah, like Nier for the PlayStation 3 is like a pretty neat Square game.
It's a remake of that, right?
I think it is.
Because the sequel was the one on the PS4, right? Nier Automata.
It's a remake. Yeah, Replicant's a remake, I think.
Yeah, which that game is like pretty neat. Like, it's definitely like, I remember when Nier came out, it was like a very weird game for Square to publish because it just seemed very outside the scope of what I would consider like Square as a publishing wing would publish. But yeah, like, it's cool that that game's getting like a remake. But then the show started with like the new Smash character,
which I guess I have to buy Smash and then buy a Smash Pass to get. Isn't there like 80 characters now?
You can get them individually. You can get them individual.
How many goddamn characters are there in Smash at this point?
A lot. It's
like 100.
It's become borderline fan fiction.
Yeah.
They put Steve and Minecraft in there.
It's like really funny because someone posted up a scene from the first Kingdom Hearts game where Cloud and Sephiroth fight, and then they like go up into the sky and they like disappear. Like a bright thing happens and they disappear, and Goofy's like, "Gosh, like, where did they go?" And like some other characters like, "Oh, they went off to a distant world to continue to fight," or blah blah blah. And people are like, "Holy shit!" Like, this new announcement has an entirely different like context now.
So I think there's about 70 to 80 games, and also Sephiroth killed Mario. I don't care what everyone says. Sephiroth killed Mario.
Well, and then and also like he like punches away Bayonetta and Greninja, and I was like, oh man, like I don't know if like he could beat Bayonetta, but I mean, Sephiroth also defeats like the main boss of Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I think he could.
He does in that trailer.
No, I'm saying I think
He
could beat
cuts
Bayonetta.
it in half.
If he can cut out Galen, he can cut out Bayonetta.
I'm literally like looking through like the characters in it, and I did not know Elsa from Frozen is in it.
She is not. I think you're looking at a fake thing.
You're looking at a fake thing.
Okay, yeah, there's a Naruto. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a pretty neat trailer. It's like his Advent Children costume. They also showed off that Cloud has a special smash move that you can only do to Sephiroth.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's just a new one they're adding to his move set in general.
Okay.
But
yeah,
it will have a more in detail event next week going over about it. But I think what's pretty monumental about this is that Square Enix never really lets anyone play with their characters often in terms of fighting games.
I mean, there was that rumor that Cloud almost didn't make it into Ultimate.
Yeah.
Oh, from what I'm seeing here, there are currently 85 characters, and that was updated yesterday.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep, that sounds right.
And then there's like 2 more left in the current Battle Pass, I think.
Yeah.
2 or 3. And this like seasons of Battle Pass has been fun. Like I like Min Min a lot, and like I played Steve for maybe about like 5 minutes, and I was like, I don't understand.
And I have a good time.
Like I played a little bit of Steve, and I was just like, I don't understand this character at all, and I immediately dropped it.
It was added in for the meme. That's it. But
I don't really believe that. I mean, Minecraft is probably like one of the most definitive franchises of like the last the last decade.
I would say it's like you can't write the history of video games without mentioning Minecraft.
Well, yeah, that's basically like what I'm saying. And
so
having like
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, so like having a video game like representative of him in Smash, which is basically like the biggest celebration of video games of all time. Like
that's fair, but I get the sense like from all the things I've seen, it just felt like it was a meme thing.
Because their roster is very much that. Because you have Street Fighter characters, you have you said Banjo and Kazooie, Fire Emblem, but that's a Nintendo. Dragon Quest characters, Persona.
Mm-hmm. Like Persona's Persona's basically Atlas, which Atlas has like a huge history within like the video game industry.
Yeah. The only one that's missing that I guess used to be there is Snake there anymore?
Snake is there.
Snake is there.
Oh shit, Snake is there.
Yeah, and I think there's like only a few franchises left that are like pretty big within the scope of fighting, or like not fighting games, but like of like video games in general that have not made their way into that game.
There's Castlevania characters, there's Resident Evil characters, right?
No,
there's no Resident Evil characters. The only
the
Capcom character is Mega Man.
Oh, okay.
Ryu and Ken.
Oh yeah, Ryu and Ken. And then I think like I don't know how you incorporate it, but it wouldn't surprise me if like Sub-Zero's in that game at some point.
Man, I don't know. I think that like the idea of Nintendo of being like family friendly still, like Street Fighter can work around that because there's not blood really.
Bayonetta's in that game, and that's an M-rated game.
Yeah, but she's also kind of a first party character now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I want Travis Touchdown in that game. Like you don't know like how much I want him into that game, and they basically made a costume for him. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is all we get.
Yeah, the only other character I could think of that would be interesting, I don't think he's big enough, would be like Dante from like Devil May Cry.
That was what everyone thought the teaser was when
instead of Sephiroth.
Yeah,
I don't think Dante is big enough. Like
I don't think he's big enough, but I think he'd be a fun character.
Yeah,
because like I don't know,
I think it's like at this point, it's like they already have. It's like you have like a lot of sword guys, a lot of shooty guys. It's like, do you want another like sword shooty guy? And so it's like I think it's like I mean I think the last like 2 or 3 picks are gonna be like very interesting because like Minecraft's big, Sephiroth is a big character, and I think like whatever character you have like going forward is going to be like it has to be as big.
Bomberman isn't in this game, right?
No, but that wouldn't
Bomberman,
surprise me. That costume.
Bomberman is an assist trophy in that game.
Oh, okay.
They also have like, in order to do like workarounds, they have like skins for the Mii fighters. So they've had a Cuphead skin, Fallout, Vault Boy skin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
And they have like, so assist trophies are basically like characters that come out like they're like Pokeballs, but they're like dome things.
Yeah.
And they're like characters that can fight with you, and like some of those characters are like Zero from Mega Man, Bomberman, Rathalos, like a bunch of different characters. So basically, it's like if they don't show up as fighters, it's like you could have like a really cool assist trophy with them.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like who else would be like a cool. You know what would be interesting? Like characters from like the old school like side scrollers, like the Battletoads or Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Double Dragon, I think, is super. I mean, actually, no,
they're owned by shit. I can't remember the company. It's a really shitty company because
Data East.
No, my wife's cousins used to work for it. They're the people who made Cooking Mama.
Oh, Majesco?
Yeah, they own Double Dragon because they put out a new one like 7 years ago.
Double Dragon Neon.
Yeah.
But to move on, because we have a lot.
Yeah, we're getting caught in the weeds here.
Perfect Dark got revealed from the Xbox first.
Fuck
party.
Yeah!
Can't be worse than the last one.
I want this Perfect Dark game to be good so bad. It's from the Initiative, which, if I were to understand, were the people that made Gears 5.
No, that's a I think that's something different you're thinking of. This is a brand new studio. This is actually their first game. They were founded 2 years ago. This is a company that was it's Xbox's big, as they call it, quadruple A studio. They have people coming from BioWare, Respawn.
That's easy. Everybody from BioWare just quit.
Rockstar, everybody.
Oh yeah, this is the Santa Monica studio. Okay, yeah. Like I listened to like doing this, and like one of the people said that this was like the people that made Gears 5. So
no, that might be the.
Okay, I was wrong about that. Yeah, but, I think that's like the. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I would say from you mentioning BioWare, like all the heads quit, didn't they? Like a week ago.
Yep, and I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. I'm gonna get to those games in 1 second.
Yeah.
So they showed off at. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna start running through things quickly because we have a lot of stuff on the Disney front too. So the creators of Left 4 Dead, Turtle Rock, revealed a new first-person zombie game with co-op called Back 4 Blood.
Yes, and it basically is Left 4 Dead 3.
Basically, Left 4 Dead 3.
It's like the trailer is basically just like copying the homework, but like you're also the person who made the homework.
Yeah. So this is basically Left 4 Dead 3. That's what everyone's gonna call it, and it's coming out June of next year. Let's see, Hood, Outlaws and Legends. I haven't heard much about that trailer. I missed. Scavengers. It's a open beta. There's a closed beta. You can sign up on the website. Forza Horizon 4 and Cyberpunk is doing a crossover. The new big one, the creator of Dead Space, has a new game coming out called Callisto Protocol, which looks great. So
that's also being made by the publisher behind PUBG.
Okay.
So
did not know that.
Yep.
And then a new Warhammer game, this new Annapurna game called Open Roads, which is a mother-daughter that's going to have Caitlin Dever and Carrie Russell, and it looks pretty cool, actually.
I'm like super excited for this game because it's being developed by Fulbright, the makers of Gone Home and Tacoma, and like I love Gone Home a lot.
I haven't played either.
Like,
the cast interests me.
Yeah, like I think Gone Home is great. If you've never played it, it's like a really chill kind of like thriller kind of game. It's great. Like I love it.
Oh yeah, I think it's on Game Pass if you have it.
And then Disco.
Hello. I think we lost John Scott.
I can keep on going if we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, next up is Disco Elysium Final Cut, which is basically going to be a upgraded version of Disco Elysium that'll be free to people who already own it, but they will be making a basically a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version That'll be coming to consoles next year. I have not played Disco Elysium. I've heard it's very good, so I'm finally going to be able to give this a try. CGI trailer for Dragon Age 4. I'm not a Dragon Age guy.
I love Dragon Age, and I'm a big, like, I don't know how, but like, I guess I'm a BioWare guy because like I like Dragon Age and I also like Mass Effect. And again, everybody from that company basically quit like last week.
Yeah, Mass Effect is like my BioWare RPG, so like I don't know if like Dragon Age 4 was like something that like, you know, I don't know if that trailer was something that whetted the appetites of people who are like fans of that franchise, but
it was
that's
good,
like,
and there's a lot. Like this is the first one that's going to be a direct sequel, like a hard sequel to the previous game. Like the other ones were kind of like it timeline wise move forward and were like in the same world and had related characters, but they didn't directly follow. This game is directly following where the final DLC ended.
Yeah, what was that Dragon Age game that came out years ago? Inquisition or Acquisition?
The Inquisition, that was the last
Sorry,
one.
my Wi-Fi crapped out on me. What game are we talking about?
Dragon Age. Like, I remember people really liked that game, and they just like never followed up on that game.
Oh, they made 3 DLCs. They made 3 DLCs, and then this is the 4th one.
That was the last bit of...
But that game came out on the 360.
No, that game came out on the last gen, the 1.
Okay.
The first game came out on the 360. I don't even know if the second one came out.
It did.
Yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition was the first one was the only one directly on the new systems because you could carry your world over. You had to go to like their website and answer questions of like what you did in the previous games, and that's how you carried over your world. Inquisition was in 2014. So 6 years ago.
Okay. But yeah, like this is like first of 2 BioWare announcements, and this is off the heels of like more people who are the head of BioWare leaving BioWare, which also like I feel like also just spells doom for like any kind of like rehabilitation that Anthem has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that game's dead. But yeah, we go through Crimson Desert is the next game. That's a big open world action adventure game. It looks cool. Don't know much.
This is it's like the single-esque player version of Black Desert, which is like kind of like a big MMO game. Like my roommate was like super into it, and it's basically like, do you want to play like do you want to play like a fantasy game where also you have like your characters have giant bazungas?
Oh, okay.
But,
like, it also looks really
Japanese. Pretty. It's not entire. It's not. I believe it's Korean.
Okay.
More importantly,
but yeah, it's a pretty good looking game.
Swedish Chef from the Muppets is now available on Overcooked as a playable new chef. So
I thought you were going to say he just got announced to be in Smash.
That would be just as amazing. There's a new game coming for the PS5 called Season. It is an indie game from Scavenger Studios, and it looks gorgeous.
Looks neat.
Black Ops, it's getting a Season 1 trailer, yippee doo. The funniest trailer of the night for me,
Arc
2, starring Vin Diesel on a dinosaur, or going against a dinosaur, and it just, I literally was flabbergasted that was Arc 2, and then they announced an Arc animated series with Russell Crowe as its cast.
The animated series is like a stacked cast, and like they didn't announce like the team behind it, but it looks an awful lot like the studio behind Saints Monos and Bliv Zeus and Castlevania.
So it's Studio Wildcard. Or is that the game studio? Studio Wildcard the game studio, or is that the animated studio?
Looks like it's the developers.
Okay, so never mind. I'm trying to see who's animating it, and I don't know. But yeah, the voice cast is going to have Michelle Yeoh, Gerard Butler, David Tennant, Jeffrey Wright, Elliot Page, Carl Urban, Malcolm McDowell, Russell Crowe, and Vin Diesel. So pretty stacked cast for that.
Fall Guys Season 3 trailer. Or Fall Guys. Evil Dead, the game.
Which I can't wait for.
Which I thought, like, when they were first showing off that trailer, I thought it was just going to be, like, Ash Williams in Dead by Daylight.
He's already there.
Oh,
So as soon as I saw the cabin, I'm like, is this an Evil Dead game or is he in Mortal Kombat? But then Ghosts and Goblins is getting a Switch remaster.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's like the second remaster for Ghosts and Goblins, but like this one looks very different. It kind of looks like the paper cutout stuff from Shadows of the Damned, or like that other Studio 51 game that came out like years ago, Black Sword Knight. It's like a unique like art style for that like style of game, and I kind of dig it. Like I'm not a Ghosts and Goblins guy. I kind of wish that another Capcom franchise would have gotten like a more recent reboot, but you know, it has its fans.
Yeah. And then what do we got? We got Returnal, which is PlayStation's Groundhog Day meets Alien video game coming out. It's coming out this March. It Takes Two revealed its first gameplay. This is from Joseph Fares, who is one of the most interesting people in video games ever.
Yeah, it's the developer or Hazelight from the people who made A Way Out and Brothers.
And also yelled "fuck the Oscars" at the Game Awards a couple years ago.
Yeah, so it's like, and like I kind of like dig that studio because they do like really great 2-player co-op games.
I don't
and they
also, yet, but I've heard good things.
Like I just recently watched. There's a couple of VTubers I like. Gura and Amelia Watson just did a playthrough of A Way Out, and it's great. And I saw the Game Grumps playthrough of A Way Out, and it's great. And it's like really fun to watch other people play through that game because like, you know, because it's a co-op game, like the friend dynamic kind of dictates the pace of that game. And It Takes Two looks fun. It's a vastly different game than A Way Out or Brothers was. They also announced that, much like A Way Out, if someone owns a copy of It Takes Two, you can invite them, a friend who doesn't own the game, into your game, and they can play along with you.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
I like that. But yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out when it comes out. What else we got? Super Meat Boy Forever is coming to Epic Games Store on the 23rd December this year.
So fucking excited for. I love Super Meat Boy. I put so many hours into it. It's like one of my favorite games of the 360 era. And I can't wait to see like a return to like that franchise.
What else was actually been Oddworld? We saw this teased already earlier in the year, but it's coming now, spring 2021. We got a new trailer, and I've never played an Oddworld game. Looks cool.
I think I played the first one way back in time. They were cool.
Yeah, the only one I kind of ever played was Stranger's Wrath, but I know that Stranger's Wrath is a vastly different Oddworld game from the other Oddworld games.
That's the Western-y one, right?
Yep, the Western first-person shooter.
Yeah, that one's like super different because the other ones are like side scrollers, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think like Munch's Odyssey is also, it's like, I think it's kind of like Pikmin in little ways, but yeah.
And then next on the list, Elder Scrolls Online has their next expansion coming. I don't play, so cool for whoever does. Monster Hunter Rise is going to have an upcoming limited time demo in January. So if you're a fan of the game,
that's the Switch.
Yeah, that's
the Switch Monster Hunter game.
And if you're a fan of that game, and you know want to say fuck Paul W.S. Anderson, go right ahead. Among Us gets a new map, cool, but Master Chief's in Fortnite along with Daryl.
Don't gloss over Among Us getting the airship. The airship looks really cool. I love Among Us, so like there's like little things about it that's a like.
Yeah, they basically took a bunch of stuff for what they were planning for 2 and are just rolling it into 1. If I believe,
which is like very neat. It's like
very
neat, and also
to not try to get people to move to another thing when there's no reason to.
Yeah. But yeah, like they have like ladders, which is kind of vastly different because like all the levels are kind of played within a like a single plane or like floor. Sorry. But now you're gonna have like 2 layers, and there's like already a map that's like kind of big for 10 players. So it's like I'm kind of like wondering how they're gonna balance having like two levels of play to where like if someone gets killed, it's like you'll never see them because they're in a part of the map like that's just kind of like super out of the way. But they're like really good at like level design, so like I'm not worried.
But yeah, so Master Chief is coming to Fortnite on the 16th, or Master Chief's in Fortnite now, and Walking Dead's Daryl and Michonne are getting added December 16th. The cool thing about the Master Chief announcement is that they did a crossover with Red versus Blue.
Yeah, I saw
cool.
that someone built Blood Gulch in Fortnite, and they are doing like a capture the flag event.
Oh,
which is
that's awesome.
Which is like neat because I feel like Blood Gulch Capture the Flag is like Halo at its peak. So
Oh, absolutely.
but yeah, it's like funny that like I feel like every time like there's like a media crossover with like The Walking Dead, I'm just like, really? Like this show is like still popular with people. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys heard, but like recently they Magic the Gathering did a Walking Dead themed like mini set that you could only buy online. And it's like, what a weird franchise, because you know they did Godzilla also before that, and it's like, oh cool, I get it. Godzilla totally fits within like the universe of like Magic the Gathering because they're like giant monsters. But like,
Do
like
zombies?
Zombies do, but like, does Daryl Dixon or like
you mean they have
the
actual
governor?
characters? Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so like seeing The Walking Dead in Fortnite, I was just like, okay, sure, whatever. You know, it's like,
Yeah, they'll be at the next Travis Scott concert in Fortnite.
but yeah, we can move on.
And then Bandai Namco announced their upcoming anime action RPG Scarlet Nexus coming in the summer.
Which looks an awful lot like Nintendo's Astral Chain.
Yes, it does. I was just gonna say that. Like almost borderline ripoff Astral Chain. And then Just Cause, the action series, is coming to mobile. Don't know when, but it's coming.
I imagine it'll run as poorly on mobile as the last Just Cause game did.
I didn't like. It took me a long time to realize Just Cause 4 had come out because I played the shit out of Just Cause 3 because it's just fun to blow shit up because everything is explodable in the third one.
Oh yeah, like yeah, Just Cause is like kind of like a fun series. Like 2 and 3 are like fun, but like 4 had like a lot of problems.
And then the last two, League of Legends, giving the League of Legends story set in the universe is coming next year. I don't play League of Legends, so if you do,
yeah,
awesome.
I don't play League of Legends. I don't know if I'm wrong on this, but that game looked an awful lot like it's from the same studio that just did Battle Chasers from like a year or two ago, because it looks just like Battle Chasers but with like a League of Legends skin.
And then last, but well, depending on how you feel about it, least or certainly not least, we got a teaser for the new Mass Effect game.
I like Mass Effect. I played Andromeda. I want another Mass Effect game. This trailer gave us nothing.
You deserve a medal.
I beat Andromeda.
Oh man, I played maybe like 3 hours. It's like I'm done.
I'm pretty sure I was working at GameStop when it came out, so like I definitely did not pay full price. I actually might have gotten it for free, but yeah, like they were still.
All right, Lou, we get it. You worked at GameStop. You got free.
There were still aspects of it that I liked because they were from the other game, but I don't know. I'm more pumped that we're getting remakes. That's confirmed, right?
Yes, we are getting a remake next year, but this is a brand new installment, and I think Liara is going to play a role in this one.
Yeah, because we're basically ignoring Andromeda.
Well, like people are like, "Oh, it's Liara," and I'm like, couldn't it just also just be like another person of like that
could be
race?
any Asari.
But yeah, man, like it's like I don't think that's fair to call it like a Mass Effect trailer because it's like basically it's just like it's a trailer for what? It's a trailer for basically saying like we're not dead. Like Mass Effect.
It's a character going through the snow and then pick something up and it's the N7. I'm like, all right, cool.
And like, you know, the problem with like Andromeda to me wasn't necessarily like not enough familiarity with like the cast. It's like they just didn't like familiarize like the audience. Well, yeah, but it's like the cast of Andromeda is just like not as inherently as interesting as the cast of the original saga. Like, like they've like rebooted Star Trek many of times. And like with each like reboot, like there's like still like a big chunk of fan base that still carries over to the next thing because like they introduce like the captain and the crew and they're just as fun and different and as engaging as the previous crew. And it's just like they just didn't do that with Andromeda.
Part of the
And I
problem
feel
also with Andromeda is that like the enemies were so fucking lame.
Yes.
And that was a big problem with it. Because in the first if you're basically, you have to only compare it really, like writing wise, to the first game. Because the second and third Mass Effects build on what that first game started. And the first one has a compelling and great villain, while Andromeda has like alien Borg.
Yeah, the art design of Andromeda is really bad. And so it's like, so then like also like going back to like earlier with like, Dragon Age, it's like so many people have left BioWare. And it's like, do I have like, and that's not to say that BioWare can't, hire talented people to come on board and like maybe have like a fresh new spin on Mass Effect as a franchise, but it's like, do I trust EA to do that? It's like, I don't. It's like I looked at Anthem, like that to me is just like what EA's all about right now. It's like that. It's like that kind of character design, that kind of quote unquote immersion, that kind of like what they want a game to be. It's like they want like a service game, and like I don't want Mass Effect to be a service game.
Well, that's because they're a company built on that, like, and their backbone is like the two biggest games as service games ever existing in FIFA and Madden.
Yeah, it's like let FIFA be FIFA and let Madden be Madden. Like, and let that fan base like continue to buy like the same franchise every year and like buy a bunch of cars, and then you like and you have a bunch of whales who are willing to spend money on that. It's like, it's like let your single player game be like a cool single player game. It's like look at like I mean like Cyberpunk did launch in a like mitigate disaster of a state, but like they like announced today that based on just the pre-orders alone, they've already made their money back.
Well, and like they also like they did a lot of stuff pushing back help. They're also in that weird spot of putting a huge like kind of AAA game in the transition period to new consoles, where they're sort of, I feel like the Microsoft and Sony like force some of these developers to put out games on the now old consoles where they really shouldn't be on them, because is anyone surprised that a console from 7 or 8 years ago is not running a game that's built for the new consoles?
I'm like surprised about Miles Morales at least, because like Miles Morales I thought was just basically like Spider-Man, which is a game that runs pretty well on my current PlayStation 4 with like a new coat of paint. But I didn't know that new coat of paint like basically like chucked my system to hell.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when Spider-Man came out, that was basically topping out the PS4, I guess.
Yeah, like when Miles Morales came out, and like I saw like people's gameplays of that game and like how it played on the PlayStation 4, like it very much to me it was like the canary in the coal mine, where I was like, oh cool, like I am like not playing Cyberpunk, I guess. Yeah. And then like I don't know if I sent you guys like that video of that guy playing Cyberpunk on the fat PlayStation 4, and it just runs. It looks like a PlayStation 2 game. Like it looks like State of Emergency.
And again, that's a system that the hardware in that system is how many years old? Like 12?
Yeah.
Like on a Pro or like an Xbox One X, like I'm sure it's playable, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like I remember, again, like I was at GameStop when the last Switch happened, and I remember like people coming in like buying the new games, like, oh, but like it looks so like bad and plays so wonky. I'm like, yeah, because they're not making games for your console anymore. Like that's why like when the games come in, it's like, oh, we have like 200 copies of Call of Duty Black Ops on the One and the PS4, and then we got like 7 for the PS3 and the 360. And we would sell like 2 of them.
I wish you would have like had that with Madden, and then you're like, and then there's like the one guy who comes in with Madden on the Wii.
Oh, they did for a while. Like Well, I don't know.
Oh, I know.
Any GameStop, you go in, their entire back room is filled with Madden's, FIFA's, 2K's, Call of Duty's. At the time, it was Halo, and I'm trying to remember what was the
Just
game
Dance?
that came out? No, Assassin's Creed, because they were doing it every year. What was another game that came out like every year?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, there was we had like 6 different we had like hundreds of 6 different Call of Duties.
Wasn't Battlefront like every year at one point too?
Yeah, that was the other one. I was like, I knew it was another war because there's always 2. It's like there's always the 2 war games. I guess there was also a lot of Halo because that's when they were doing there was that period was like Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and Halo Wars were all within a 5-year period.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other shit to talk about.
Basically,
we have a whole other presentation.
The last thing I basically want to say about that gaming thing with Mass Effect is that I feel like EA is still stuck in this 360 PS3 era of game design where it's our game needs to also be a single player game and also a multiplayer game and also a service game. And that's how we make money. And it's if you look at Sony, and I'm not super into a lot of Sony's first parties, but they're big budget first party games that sell gangbusters and don't have a digitized monetized store. It's you can do it. Sony does it. Why can't EA do it? Why can't I just hope that Mass Effect is a Mass Effect of old and not a Mass Effect of the recent history.
Well, the thing is that they don't want to, because they can't. It's I don't know. They suck. Fuck EA.
I haven't bought any. I haven't besides Andromeda before that. I hadn't bought an EA game since Mass Effect 3.
The best. All you did was remind me of, if you've never seen I haven't really watched any new episodes in a long time. There's a South Park episode about college football, and how they characterize EA in it is the best. Because basically it's how bad the college sports programs are. And then it's yeah, they're really bad. And then EA's no, we bought all the rights to everything. We're the ultimate bad guys. And that's what they do to them. But yeah, let's talk about let's spend all of the time on the 8 million things that Disney decided to share with us yesterday.
Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We got
things you didn't know you needed. You now need.
Okay, so let's recap. Disney yesterday had their big investor day. This is their big presentation announcing what's coming at the end of 2020 and beyond. A lot of stuff got announced, so let's get right into it. First thing they announced is over the next few years, we're going to get roughly 10 Marvel series and Star Wars series, 15 Disney live action, 15 Disney animation, and 15 Pixar series, and 15 all new Disney live action, 15 Disney animation, and 15 Pixar movies on Disney Plus.
So, correction there, because I'm reading the tweet here. It says 15 Disney live action, comma, Disney animation, comma, and Pixar series. So I think it's just
15 total, of, not 15 each.
Of those things. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plus 15 all new Disney live action, Disney Afternoon, and Pixar features will be released on Disney Plus.
My mistake. Yeah. But holy mother of God, that's a lot of content.
Yeah. So let's start with you're going to go through the timeline, which the timeline is kind of broken into the Disney stuff, then Star Wars, then MCU. If I remember how the announcements.
With dashes of TV sprinkled in there.
Yes.
But I guess I'm reading just from the tweets from Disney's whole Twitter thread.
There's a bunch of sports stuff we'll say, and we're going to move on.
Yeah.
So they're adding Stars onto Disney Plus. Is that the network that had Ash versus Evil Dead and Pennyworth?
Yes.
That's not the same one. That's a different thing. Star is only in Europe and everything. That's not for America.
That's not Stars.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I thought at first. I was like, oh, cool.
And how dare you say that one show's name? It does not exist, even though it's in season 2, I believe.
I like that. I was like, the network that has Ash versus the Evil Dead and Pennyworth.
I don't know. You cut out there because that thing you said doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also the the network that has the one season of American Gods.
Exactly. But,
so what are these
Star
other
and Star Plus
shows?
are general entertainment content brands. So the first big thing that Disney came out and said was, the new Disney animated movie Raya and the Last Dragon is coming to theaters, and it's going to still have Disney Plus Premiere access. So I guess we're still trying that, but
so yeah, we're basically going to pay $30 for it.
I'm not. I'll wait.
Well, I think the idea is that like we don't know when theaters will be able to be reopened, or if like where I live, I don't know. The closest theater to me is like done. They closed it like permanently.
Yeah,
and it got closed earlier than it would have because it was getting closed for other reasons. But like, I don't know when. Like, I'm in a hot zone. I don't know when anything's gonna open. And if it's like $30, and I go to like my wife's cousin's house, and there's like 8 of us that are gonna watch it, like $30 is fine to split. Like,
well, it's like funny because there's like a drive-in near me, but like none of these movies are on. But none of these movies like they do for drive-in, like because like I don't know if like the licensing is too high or something. But
I'm gonna
like,
guess it's the licensing.
Licensing would be a problem.
Yeah, because all this stuff is going to the big chains.
Yeah, which that's a whole HBO. We might not get to the HBO news today, did we?
We can say it right now that HBO is releasing all the stuff for basically the entire 2020, 2021 straight to HBO Max.
Yes, which
you know what? Like after we get done talking about Disney, I'll do like a rapid fire thing about HBO Max.
Okay.
Okay.
But let's rip through some of these shows and movies.
So
we have,
but like I don't know if you, but basically to start, like I don't know if you guys got like the news today about the FDA approving the COVID-19. So it's like, March 5th is like kind of fucking close. I feel like, but like I don't know, man. Like I think it's just like it depends on like how able they're able to get vaccinated.
I was just saying, I live in DC. My brother-in-law works for the FDA. My wife also works for the federal government. They are both scientists. Okay, so it got approved. The way that like the United States government bureaucracy works is cool. That will still need like some other approvals, and then to be distributed, and then it gets distributed to like the most essential people, and then like down the list.
Yeah.
So it will take a long. It's gonna be like.
So you're saying that me, who wants to watch Raya and the Last Dragon in theaters, is not essential enough?
No, unless you want to become a firefighter or an EMT worker. No,
I'm joking.
Although teachers, John, you might be able to, because I think they're considering teachers pretty high up there.
AIDS or whatever. So that wouldn't. What about podcasters, guys? Come on.
So yeah, let's continue. There's like
let's continue.
So they started. They went to sports first, but
yeah, we could just roll over that. There's a bunch of sports stuff. I'm a sports person. Nobody else is here. I may watch one of the sports.
You're a sports person. Get out of here.
One of the shows is for someone I fucking hate, so fuck them for doing that.
Is it Stephen A. Smith?
Yes, fuck that guy.
I don't know. I don't know why people hate that guy. I just like. I feel like he shows up in a meme every once in a while, and that guy seems like a loud jackass, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah. That's what he is. He's a loud jackass, and he's made a career out of it. And he's by like basically he sucks. He's like the problem. Like everything you don't like about like comic book or video game or name it journalism, like he is that in sports. Like he's sports TMZ.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess I'll start off with like the Hulu announcements.
Yeah. So we have the new series Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin and Martin Short reuniting, and Selena Gomez has joined them. Not much is known about it.
That's a grouping that makes sense.
Sure.
I mean, like Steve Martin and Martin Short, like.
Oh no, they make sense. It's the Selena Gomez, and they're like, we're gonna have these two 65-year-old comedians and like a 31-year, like, is she even 30?
I don't know, man. I like her in Spring Breakers. Like I kind of like some of her music. So,
well, I'm not like her music, but like I'm just saying, like her, like it's a weird combo for me. Like it feels very producery, like, oh, we got to give something for it's a 3-quadrant show or 4-quadrant show.
So next is the true story of con artist Elizabeth Holmes. It's called The Dropout. It's gonna be, and she's played by Kate McKinnon. So Kate McKinnon's gonna.
I cannot wait. I listened to the podcast. My wife read the book. I cannot wait. The story is fucking crazy. And if anyone can do it, Kate McKinnon can. Because one of the big things about Elizabeth Holmes is she has a weird fucking voice.
Oh yeah, I think Kate McKinnon could. Let's see. Dope Sick is a new drama series inspired by true events. It's going to have Michael Keaton, Peter Sarsgaard, and Rosario Dawson.
Interesting. Did they say what that's about or just the name?
Just the name.
I wonder if it's about like people who had issues. I don't know if these 3 people did.
Well,
it's like a drama series about people who are addicted to drugs. And
and Rosario's done that before, like that kind of a show.
Dope Sick Dealers, Doctors, and the Drug Company That Addicted America. So it is about opioids.
Oh, so it's going to be about pills, like Vicodin and shit.
And okay, I'm actually looking at some of the extra cast on here. Will Poulter will be in it. Caitlin Dever will be in. Okay, that's a decent cast.
Mm-hmm. The next one is the Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, 9 Perfect Strangers.
From David E. Kelly.
Which is crazy. I just finished watching, what was the Nicole Kidman thing everyone was talking about on HBO?
Oh, the one with Hugh Grant?
Yes. Unraveling.
I know what you're talking about.
Undoing. It was really good. She's a good fucking actress. It's an interesting combo. And David E. Kelly is David E. Kelly, so he has some big shows under his belt, so sounds good.
And then The Handmaid's Tale season 4 is coming in 2021, but it also got renewed for season 5. So if you watch the show, that's cool.
Yeah. I saw season 1. I don't need to be that depressed.
Next is FX. The big new shows are coming exclusively to FX on Hulu. Is The Old Man, which is Jeff Bridges as a former CIA operative forced to reconcile with his past.
Down for it. Always.
Oh, God. American Horror Stories, with a plural, which is an anthology spin-off. Wow.
It has its following, like
Ryan
The Walking Dead.
Ryan Murphy needs to calm down. Platform is a scripted anthology from BJ Novak that uses the boldest issues of our times as a jumping off point to tell a singular story about the world we live in. This next one, which Lou and I were talking about, looks cool. It's from Taika Waititi. It is called Reservation Dogs. It is a half-hour comedy series about 4 Native American teenagers growing up on a reservation in eastern Oklahoma.
I'm trying to see who the comedians are in it.
It's in development, so it's just starting its work.
Yeah, because there is one that I really like. He was the guy that is on the kind of famous How Did This Get Played episode. I can't. It's like Joe. Okay. Yeah, he's really good comedian. So I would hopefully, because again, it's like the most marginalized group possibly.
So it's cool. One of the other co-creator is Native American.
Yes.
And like Taika Waititi is like, I'll basically watch anything that he is like a part of at this point.
Yeah, same.
And then the next big one is we're finally getting that Why the Last Man adaptation exclusively on FX Hulu. Finally. Yeah.
Like, have you guys ever read Why the Last Man?
Yes. I read the first volume.
I've read it completely.
It's great. And
it'd be a good read right now.
I think it's funny that in the tweet they're like starring Diane Lane, and it's like, oh, she played. It's like not starring Yorick or like.
Yeah, well, she's got to be the mom, right? I would assume.
Absolutely.
She's the biggest name in the cast.
Yeah.
But and if it sounds like I'm going really quickly through these, it's because I am, and there's a lot to get through.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna tag ones that I think are interesting, which I think is the next one, which is
Other Fucking Alien from FX from Noah Hawley. Holy shit.
No one's pants are dry. Everyone's wet. Like, could there be like a better combination of person and property?
Oh my god.
I'm like kind of okay on it. Like, I think it's just like over like 25 years, there's only been like Alien Isolation as like the good Alien properties.
The first 2 movies and 1 video game.
I mean, like the Capcom Alien vs Predator game in arcades is like very good, but yeah.
Oh, isn't that the one that went to the Jaguar?
No, you're thinking of the FPS, which is
Oh.
also good. I'm talking about like the side scroller where you play as predators and humans against aliens.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
it's still just like the fact that you have the guy who did Fargo and Legion working on
Yeah.
this.
If you've never seen Legion, like my thought is because it's also called Alien, that this is going to be much more in the vein of the original film and be much more horror, space isolation oriented.
It says here, expect a scary thrill ride. So yeah, I think you're looking more in the horror section.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more like Alien than what we saw as in Aliens. The next one's also cool, which is Shogun.
It's the novel Shogun, the classic James Clavell saga. Justin Marks, who wrote The Jungle Book and the upcoming Top Gun Maverick, is adapting the epic with Rachel Kondo and producing it with Tim Van Patten.
Is she related to Marie Kondo? That is a joke, and you do not have to look it up. Please don't.
Okay, I was like, I can't tell if you're being serious.
Do you know who Marie Kondo is?
I do.
Okay.
And then It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is getting 4 more seasons.
Yeah, we were talking about this beforehand. It's like, well, yeah, because all of the stars have tried to do other TV shows and they've all failed.
I mean, like, it's like you can't really say Danny DeVito fails.
No. He's not one of the 4 stars of the show.
And Charlie Day, like, he shows up in stuff.
He's the aberration. I would say Dan DeVito's kind of he's separate from the core, like the 4 characters.
Rob McElroy's gotten his own thing with the Ravenscrest show now on Apple TV.
Yeah, he has the Apple TV show. There was AP Psych or AP Bio. AP Bio.
I think they're all like super talented people that also like at the same time are like in this perfect nexus of like as a group are like comedic like gold.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the end, right? And then we hit into Star Wars, which
we punch it to light speed is what we do here.
Yeah. And the first story, which is basically Mando season 3, is happening. I think it comes out next December.
Next Christmas.
Next Christmas.
We have to wait a full year. And the season ends next Friday.
Who's got 2 thumbs and hasn't seen most of Mandalorian? This guy.
Well, you're missing out because it's fucking awesome.
You're about to get spoiled because they kind of reveal a spoiler here.
I don't care. Like I'll probably forget about it anyways.
Well, one of the shows is a spoiler.
Yeah. So
the Ahsoka show.
Yes.
They have, speaking of what, 2 spin-offs in the timeline of The Mandalorian, which is Rangers of the New Republic, which I think is the Gina Carano show.
They said it's starring her. We'll see how long that lasts of her being the star.
Well, why do you say that?
Oh,
look, we all know
trans people.
And I will say, like, as somebody who's known about her for like a long time, being an MMA fan, like, I'm not surprised. Like, the people who make money by punching other people in the face tend to be very conservative.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry to sidestep because I know it's a packed show. There's like a Facebook group I'm a part of that's like a local like pop culture shit group, and like someone shared a story from like one of like Marvel super unhappy with like Brie
Larson or Gina Carano.
Brie Larson. Brie Larson, they're going to replace her with Gina Carano. I just like, look, man, let's just ban everything from this site and also from like.
So Disney's going to replace an Oscar-nominated actress with a former MMA fighter.
Yeah, man.
Whose best thing on her resume is I'm not Ronda Rousey.
She was also. It's like also she was a character named Angel Dust in Deadpool.
Oh, was that her character's name?
That was her character's name.
Yeah.
Because her big things are Deadpool, Mandalorian, and then she starred in, although they redubbed her, what was it called?
No, she was also in Fast 6.
Fast 6, oh, that's right. She's the one that fights Michelle Rodriguez. And then the next one, they put Ronda Rousey, and everyone's like, oh, don't let her talk.
Which also, to be fair, like we can't rag on Gina Carano for being transphobic, and then also like bring up Rosario Dawson, who has like had also a history of transphobia.
Yeah, it's like I don't know.
By the way, Ahsoka show's coming out next in the same timeline.
Yes, and then they're all going to have like a Defender style meetup at some point.
But maybe maybe a little more successful than Defenders was.
So have they said like where does Mandalorian like I guess like
Yes.
I guess like with Ahsoka showing up, it takes place between 3 and 4.
No, it's 5 years after
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, the Empire doesn't exist.
That's why people are like they're just milking 6 to 7 so hard. Okay, I got it.
And then we got a small little sizzle reel for the Rogue One show. Now it's called Andor.
Yes, which looks fucking awesome. So it'll take place before Rogue One, and
coming out in 2022.
Yeah, Luna is awesome in it.
Wait, so do they have any of the characters from Rogue One?
No.
Besides Luna, they have not said.
No, I think K2SO's in it.
It seems like a very odd decision for them to do.
Well, the only
main
characters that would be in it are him and K2. The rest of them just kind of come together in the movie. They're not together.
On Mothma, but the two big other names they cast were Stellan Skarsgård and Fiona Shaw.
And then the next one is like I feel like fairly huge.
The Obi-Wan show.
Yeah. Starring Christensen back as Darth Vader. Hayden Christensen's back as Darth Vader.
I'm for it, and I think they kind of said so. It's going to take place 10 years after Jedi.
Yes.
Can you imagine Can you imagine like hopping into a time capsule and like going back 15 years and telling like Star Wars fans like in 15 years you're going to be like so excited for like Hayden Christensen to return as Darth Vader for a Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show?
We have an mom after us.
Well, that's what's interesting is that like this show and the Andor show probably take place somewhat similarly in time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably have more tie-ins like Mandalorian to Clone Wars and Rebels, the cartoons.
Clone Wars, I think, more for the Obi-Wan show.
Yes, because it will be before Rebels. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I would say, and the game that came out last year.
All in Order?
Yeah, because that ties into like Mandalorian, Rebels, Clone Wars, all that stuff as well.
So, what's the deal with the Bad Batch?
So, have you seen the Clone Wars, the last season?
I'm not seeing it. Like, I saw like the original like 2D Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, and maybe like a handful of 3D ones, but that's kind of about it.
Well, you should go back and watch it because you can find lists of what episodes you should watch, and also watch Rebels. But the season they just launched, I think it's the first arc, right?
It is.
Yeah, that's the only part I've seen, and
it's an 80s action movie team.
Yeah, the idea is that there are clones that don't come out right, but instead of getting rid of them, they use them as like specialized agents. That is why they are called the Bad Batch. So they are all still clones, but they are not perfect clones. So there's one that's like a tank. There's one that's like a kind of warpath, like the X-Men character.
Yeah.
There's one that's a sniper. There's a tech guy. I'm trying to remember if there's another one.
Is it basically if you took the Marauders and mixed them with the Suicide Squad?
Yes. But they're awesome.
I mean, the Marauders and the Suicide Squad are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like it's more like they're all brothers because they're clones.
Yeah.
But they also kind of like the other clones don't want to associate with them because they're like fucked up, but they're also like think that they're like, well, we're more specialized. They're kind of like an X-Force team. To go back to like X-Men.
Got it.
But moving on, we have Star Wars Visions, which is basically the Animatrix.
But Star Wars.
Yeah, did they announce any directors or I mean, like, I have, like, some, like, directors and some, like, studios in my head I would love to see, like, do a Star Wars...
there's going to be big names, because...
Like, I would love to see a studio trigger, like, 15-minute short about Star Wars, and they could just do... Could you
imagine, like, a JoJo version of a Star Wars story?
Oh, yeah, if David Productions had like a short, yeah, like I would be like so on board.
My Hero Academia, but it's the Jedi Academy.
But yeah, like
That would fucking work real well, actually.
Yeah.
like it's like if they got like the director of like Devil May Cry Baby, like or like they got like Mappa or Bones or Trigger or like there's like a ton of just like really great like animation studios like currently out here, and I kind of like I feel like Peter Chung is like he's gonna be involved in this somehow, because I feel Peter Chung is like involved in like every Americanized like animation crossover thing with Japan. Which is like not necessarily bad. Like I'm not like throwing shade at Peter Chung, like the guy who did like Aeon Flux,
Yeah.
But I feel he has a very distinct style when you see it.
Yeah, well, he did one of the Animatrix, didn't he?
Yeah, he did like one of the pretty good ones. Like, yeah, the Animatrix like is hits 80% of the time.
Did he do the one with the track star?
He did.
That's I like all I had to do was think of the art and like I immediately knew.
No, he did the one where like they have like the big like kabuki fight.
Oh, okay, that's like a different one. Yeah, that one's just basically no talking. It's just all like ninja.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Matrix ninjas.
Yeah.
The next story
is
which
creator of Dear White People on Netflix is doing the Lando Calrissian miniseries for Disney Plus.
Have they said which Lando?
They said both. I saw that both are going to be involved.
Oh.
Like, they officially said both are involved.
I did not know that.
What would be fun, is my head, is that we have Billy D. Williams retelling stories and then having having him actually doing the stories. You know what I mean?
What if Billy D. Williams gets trapped into like a time portal and he like goes back to the past and he teams up with like his younger self and they go on like adventures together?
If you watched Rebels, you would know that things like that in Star Wars are possible.
Well, now I know.
Okay, now this next one I'm really interested in.
This sounds real interesting.
Okay, so it's Leslie Headland, who, if you have not seen on Netflix, she co-created the show Russian Doll. She is doing a Star Wars series on Disney Plus called The Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Now, the High Republic era is Disney's latest like publishing line in terms of like their new story, in terms of like books and comics and everything. So,
is that not the era of the Skywalker stuff?
This is before everything.
So it's not the Knights of it's not the Old Republic.
It's before the Knights of Ren.
Is it like in the is it like in the year like 420?
Yeah, but like the Knights of Ren are
because it's the High Republic.
So it's okay. So here it is. It is High Republic sub-era, the Age of Republic, 200 years before the events of the Skywalker saga, 800 years after the fall of the Old Republic.
Okay, so it's the in-between of the Old Republic and what the movies gave us.
Yeah.
Because the Old Republic is the Mandalorian Wars.
Yes.
So it is the post of that. It's like the Second Republic.
Phase 1 is Light of the Jedi. There is going to be one short story that comes out December 15th, and then starting next January, you're going to have like a bunch of books, 2 adult novels, and
I'm assuming a bunch of comics.
Well, you're going to have 1 adult novel in January, middle grade novel in January.
How adult are we talking here?
Like
Black Series, DC Black Label.
No, I'm not talking comics.
Are we going to see? Are we going to see?
Like Luke Skywalker's dick?
I was going to go with Vader's. Like, how burnt is it?
God.
Is it have a hydraulic pump?
And then you're gonna get the other young adult novel in February and an adult novel in July, and then you're gonna have a couple other novels released, and then you have 2 comic series. The first comic, which is Star Wars: The High Republic, starts January 6th, and that is by Kevin Scott. It's from Marvel. And then Star Wars: The High Republic Avengers is Daniel Jose Older, and it's IDW, and that's with the Yoda one. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I think I'm really excited to discover that new era. So yeah. The next one we have is a special Star Wars adventure called A Droid Story featuring R2-D2 and C-3PO. Boy, I'm sure not tired of these characters.
Well, I don't know. It's a special, so I'm guessing it's going to be like really short.
I hope so.
And
I don't want a whole series of this.
no, we already have like a short.
So I saw someone post about the they posted like the big image of like all the different like Star Wars shorts, and I saw like that one there, and I thought I read it at first as the Droid Show, and I thought, and like I like instantly in my head it's like a late night show starring KTSO and BB-8.
That would
with, like,
be so good. So it's Space Ghost, but with K2SO.
and Max Rebo are like the house band, and they interview different characters within the Star Wars universe.
I feel like it should just be like they interview other droids and like just to talk shit about the humans and like the biological beings.
3PO just comes on and starts saying like curse words just to let loose.
Oh man. I'm just gonna try to like move. So I want to skip the next one because it's not Star Wars, but it's still Lucas.
Let's
go to the last big Star Wars one because it's probably one of the biggest.
So real quick, Willow was announced.
Well,
that was the one I was skipping.
I only like the only reason why I want to bring this up. I've never seen Willow.
How dare you, sir? Damn dare you?
The only thing I know Warwick Davis from is I've seen all of the Leprechaun films.
You've seen Harry Potter, though.
Fuck you.
Is he in Harry Potter?
Is he like one several different characters in it?
Look, man, he's all under makeup, so it's like
no. In one of them, he's not. He just has a mustache.
Look, man. I didn't want to bring it up here, but I don't like Harry Potter, so.
Oh, I don't like Harry Potter either. So.
Oh, well then we can move on.
All right. So the next
Willow. He fucks. Yeah, it's the best.
Wait, Warwick Davis fucks in Willow?
Yeah, he has a kid at the end.
Oh my god, I gotta see Willow.
Dude, how have you not seen Willow? It's a movie starring Warwick Davis, and then
because I mean, like
Val Kilmer is like Sword and Sandals. Han Solo.
I've seen Labyrinth, but I feel like a lot of like those '80s fantasy films.
This is
like
a
Willow
comedy. This is a
Legion
comedy.
And the Neverending Story. Kind of like a lot of that shit, like just like passed me by.
Willow's like a comedy version of Lord of the Rings, and instead of having actors play hobbits, they have actual little people.
All right.
So you know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna get through these news now, really quickly. They're doing another Indiana Jones. It's James Mangold directing it. It's supposed to be the last one. Harrison Ford's coming back.
Man, did you want to see Harrison Ford be Sean Connery in an Indiana Jones film? Well, guess what? You're about to see it in 2022.
You see, I didn't want this movie, but you saying that kind of sold me on the idea.
It's like, well, it's funny because like me and a friend were talking about this like last night about like it'd be kind of neat if they brought back Shia LaBeouf because he's kind of like rehabilitated his career, and then like all the shit with Shia LaBeouf came out in the last 24 hours.
Oh, I don't even know what all the shit is. What did he do? Is it the thing where he's in like Mexican face?
No, his former girlfriend basically is suing him for like emotional damage and battery and all this other shit, and then Shia LaBeouf like basically gave a statement about being like, yeah, like I was like a really bad alcoholic, and basically said like in no uncertain terms like he did everything that he did and he feels really bad about it and he needs help, and it's like well like that period of like Shia LaBeouf like welcome back tour is kind of been derailed.
Yeah.
And then next is, just going to get to this quickly, Tomi Adeyembe's New York Times bestselling novel Children of Blood and Bone, which I've heard of, but I've never read, is being developed by Lucasfilm in partnership with 20th Century Studios. This coming-of-age adventure follows a young African girl's quest to restore magic to her forsaken people, the Magi.
I think it's like very interesting, like what is being set up as a Disney film and what is being set up as a 20th Century Studios film.
Well, I think it's also stuff that, like, rights-wise, Fox may have still had.
Maybe, but like I think,
like, yeah.
I think we'll get into it like a little bit later when we start seeing like 20th Century Fox revivals that are happening and like what they kind of chose. But yeah, like it honestly could be like maybe like the tone of the film is not like It's like they're restructuring that basically anything that was like Miramax or Buena Vista at one point is now being like 20th Century Fox and not necessarily under the Disney label.
And I will say, I don't think that's a bad idea. Like, if something's in the Disney label, it's will be quote family friendly, and then all their not so family friendly stuff under 20th Century would not be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what they did in the past. And they have Miramax, and then they have like 2 or 3 other ones they used to do that with. I can't remember them right now. But they used to do that in the past, like all the time.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think it's a bad idea.
But yeah, like Taika Waititi is doing a new Star Wars franchise.
And
That's
then,
rad.
Here for it.
That's rad, but the biggest news, and the one that made me like pee my pants with excitement because I was so happy, Patty Jenkins is doing a motherfucking Rogue Squadron movie.
Yeah, man.
This has got to be a big fuck you to Warner Brothers, right?
Am I gonna need an expansion pack to watch this movie?
And 64 days, baby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, like, hey, man, it's like
they got Rumble Pack.
WWE got James Gunn for a film, and they get Patty Jenkins for a film.
It's also coming out in 2023, so it is a long way off. But the fact that it's even happening is fucking rad.
I think it's like also like funny. Like Patty Jenkins was originally supposed to be doing Thor: The Dark World years ago, and then she was basically like let go to and they hired like some dumbass fucking Game of Thrones director who made like the worst Marvel film
with the worst MCU movie.
And then Patty Jenkins went on to go do Wonder Woman. So like I'm like hoping that Patty Jenkins got like a big fat payday from Star Wars for this.
I'm sure she did. Yeah, like trying to speed up a little bit because we have the whole MCU to get to.
Are you saying you don't want to go over this Nat Geo stuff?
Yeah, there's a bunch of Nat Geo stuff. If you like animals and nature, good for you.
Chris Hemsworth will now it's time for Disney Plus itself. So
yeah,
I'll get to that too.
Yeah, so Mighty Ducks TV show. There's a trailer.
Mighty Ducks TV show.
Gordon Bombay, our favorite story that starts off with someone getting into UI is back.
I love the Mighty Ducks. Like, unironically, like I
love it too.
So like I'm kind of like we saw the preview for it. Like I'm not like super high on it, but like I'll watch 12 episodes of a Mighty Duck TV show.
Oh, this is like
seen the cartoon show.
I have.
I've seen a handful of episodes. I do not like it.
It is a show that exists.
I will say, like, the shows they announce as like family friendly shows are kind of all home runs. Mighty Ducks as like a family friendly like kid show, home run. The next one.
So the thing about the Mighty Ducks TV show, like the Mighty Ducks animated show from the 90s, also existed, I feel like, at a time where Disney tried to rebrand itself as being like edgy. So you had like the Mighty Ducks and then the Quack Pack, which was like, Huey, Dewey, and Louie as angsty teenagers.
Stop it! Don't remind me of that garbage.
Anyway. The next thing we have is Josh Peck in a Turner and Hooch TV show,
which is like the first of. I was like, like this is the 20th Century Fox back catalog you decided to kind of go back to?
Hold on. I was correction. That was Touchstones. That was still technically Disney.
Turner and Hooch? Oh, wow.
Well, they also said Alien was also Fox.
I mean, like, Alien seems like a slam dunk. Like, it's like, yeah, of course. It's like...
Well, but people have been worried about it. Like, they're going to Disneyfy it? Well, no, they gave it to the fucking crazy guy. Which also meant they're working with Howley still.
Like, if Disney announced, like, that Die Hard film was Charlize Theron and Tiffany Haddish, like, at that Disney thing yesterday, I was so fucking happy.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah,
the next one is Big Shot, which is set in the world of high school women's basketball, starring John Stamos.
John Stamos, stay away from those young teenage girls.
Well, the other actress, I'm looking at her, Yvette Brown, I've seen in a million things. She's great.
We all have. Before we get to the next story, really quick, I do want to point out they did have a brief mention of they are working on the Percy Jackson TV show, which I am hyped for. Let's go.
Did they talk about like that reboot of Home Alone?
No.
That seems like a big like slam dunk that I'm kind of surprised Disney didn't like announce.
Well, they got a couple slam dunks in here.
Well, it's hard to make a movie about a kid being stuck home alone when everybody's trapped at home.
Woof.
This next one is the Mysterious Benedict Society. I've never heard of it, but Tony Hale and Kristen, can't say her
Kristen
name.
Shaw.
Kristen Shaw are in it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
like 2 great actors. Yeah, sure, I'll watch that.
Yeah. They could have giant checked to the worst people in the world, and we can move on.
yeah, I'm skipping this part now. Disney Studios had their update. They're doing a Hocus Pocus 2 on Disney Plus because
We will watch it. We paid and we watched the live thing that they did, which was pretty fun.
I was gonna say y'all made this popular, so if I've heard literally someone say like, I don't want to do a sequel. I'm like, then don't watch the movie every Halloween. That's on you.
It's a good Halloween movie, except for the fact that they talk about like a 15-year-old's virginity a lot.
Yeah, it's not on my rotation of Halloween films, but like, yeah, it's like, hey, it's for people. Bette Midler needs work.
They reused that cat, that animatronic cat they built for Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They're rebooting 3 Men and a Baby with Zac Efron.
Yeah,
I think that's a slam dunk.
That seems like a weird thing for them to kind of pull back, but yeah, sure.
Having just watched that movie recently, the concept could easily work of like 3 single professional men, like who are party like bachelors, ending up with a baby and they don't know who the dad is, but it's one of theirs, and having to kind of raise it and all mature, like it really could work. It's a very fun film with a very odd B plot that involves heroin.
And then they announced 3 new movies of athletes, so sports. They announced a new original movie called Flora and Ulysses about a young comic book fan and her superpowered squirrel sidekick.
How is this an original film and not a Beverly Cleary book?
Right?
How is this not Squirrel Girl?
I don't know. This pretended Squirrel Girl. I don't know. They're bringing it back Cheaper by the Dozen, but it is from the producer of Blackish. It is centered on a blended family of 12, and Gabrielle Union will star.
Yeah, makes sense. I love Gabrielle Union. Maybe Tom Welling will be her husband in it. That would be funny.
God. There's a new Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie coming out. I'm going through everything.
Didn't they already do a live-action Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Animated.
Yes, they did like
animated.
I think they did 3 live-action ones.
Yeah.
And then, whatever. They're doing a new Ice Age movie starring the 2 Possum Brothers and Simon Pegg's characters. Simon Pegg's coming back.
Simon Pegg needs a payday.
Sure, why not? There is an animated Night at the Museum movie coming out next year. Sean Levy's producing. I'm excited for this. I like all 3 of those movies.
I don't know how they're doing an animated Night at the Museum, but a live-action Chippendales Rescue Rangers. I feel like that needs to be flipped.
Let me get to it. Hang on. Embark, and then they confirmed Jungle Cruise is still coming into theaters July 2021.
That movie looks rad.
It does. I mean, sure. I mean,
but if you like The Rock, you'll like it.
They're doing a prequel to The Lion King, the live-action one. Barry Jenkins is confirmed to direct.
Do you think a prequel to The Lion King is... because it's obviously going to be about young Scar and young Mufasa. Do you think it's going to be like the movie starts out with like the whole entire thing with the wildebeest and Mufasa like climbing up, and like Scar does the thing with like Long Live the King,
and it's a flashback,
and he flips them off, and before like Mufasa like hits the wildebeest, like, yeah, that's me. You might be wondering how I got here. Well, let me tell you, it takes place about 8 years ago.
And then you just hear, out here in the fields. The next big news, the Little Mermaid cast. Holy shit.
Oh, Little Mermaid cast is phenomenal, to say the least.
Singer Halle Bailey as Ariel, David Diggs as Sebastian, Javier Bardem as King Triton, Jacob Tremblay as Flounder, Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, Jonah Howard King as Prince Eric, and Aquafina as Scuttle.
I just can't be excited for any...
Scuttle's the seagull.
The seagull. I just can't be excited for any of these live actions. Like like the last one.
And I'm here for Javier, and
I'm here for Melissa McCarthy as Ursula because that sounds interesting.
Like the last one I saw was Aladdin, and I thought Aladdin was like fairly like.
I have not seen that one. I think I've only seen Beauty and the Beast.
A Friend Like Me is like the best part about that movie, and Like the rest of the movie is just like I don't get like the choices.
I've listened to the song. I like the animated one better.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
don't watch Mulan. It's not good. It
That's what I've heard. I'd rather watch like any other like Chinese action movie like that. Like I'd rather watch Crouching Tiger.
I would rather
like-
just watch animated Mulan, where
Yeah.
you have like hot characters singing about wanting to be like men and shit.
Yeah.
But
If I want to watch Ming Na Wen, I'll watch Mandalorian.
but like
Speaking of live action animated films,
like Siler spoiled earlier, we are getting a Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
you brought it up like an hour ago.
Oh, I thought you had. Oops, whatever. Chip,
That was before we started recording.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chip is being played by John Mulaney. Dale is Andy Samberg. Is directed by Akiva Schiffer, The Lonely Island. Just for those three names alone, I am sold. I am in.
My only
Like-
guess is that like it will be Rescue Rangers, but humans. Like I think live action is probably just like CGI and they look more realistic.
I think
So my hope is kind of like, did you guys see like the Tom and Jerry film
Trailer?
that's coming out? Yeah,
what they did with Mary Poppins.
and I think it'd be really neat if like all the characters like the Rangers and Fat Cat and his crew are all like 2D animated characters, or like on like 3D rigs, but like look like 2D characters, and then like everyone else is like, you know, live action. Like I'd be totally fine with that. I just don't want like
So like a Muppets movie, but instead of Muppets, they're
Well,
like
did you
animated
guys,
characters.
well, I mean, it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yeah.
but with the Rescue Rangers.
Did
It's
you
like
guys?
I just don't want the Smurfs.
Did you guys?
Yes.
Mary Poppins Returns.
No.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
I would kind of love it if they did it in that sort of animation.
Like, man, that movie is like so sad because it's like it comes so close to being good, and then there's like a 45-minute song where like everyone's on bicycles and like all the Lin-Manuel Miranda songs are just drag that movie down so bad.
Well,
but, like,
because he's not a great singer. He's good at writing. not
Well,
singing.
I mean, it's not necessarily his singing. It's like I will say if you want to watch anything that's like good about that movie, like there's like a scene where Lin-Manuel Miranda and Poppins are on stage and they sing like a song about like what's inside of a book. I think that's what the name of the song is called. It's fucking great. It's like there's like penguins and they're drawn and they're like in this drawn world and it's like, oh, like Disney can still fucking do 2D animation and it looks great.
Yeah.
How come we can't do this anymore, you guys?
That's the animation I want for Chip and Dale.
Yeah.
All right. So the next we have here is
We need to start ripping through this stuff faster. We have not even touched on Marvel yet.
no. Disney live action Pinocchio is getting a live action remake exclusively to Disney Plus. Tom Hanks is Geppetto. Robert Zemeckis directing. Great. I'm in.
Not as excited as I am for the Pinocchio that's being done by Guillermo del Toro and the writer of Over the Garden Wall.
Yes.
Oh, so the movie where Pinocchio fucks with his nose? Because that's what Guillermo del Toro's going to do.
Ah!
All right. Then the next one, the director of the Peach Dragon remake, which is a really fucking good remake. I would highly recommend it. Is doing a Peter Pan and Wendy movie. Yara Shadi from Blackish is going to be Tinkerbell, and Jude Law is Captain Hook.
I just can't. It's like I feel like they like.
We're done with Peter Pan.
I just feel like every studio, like 5 to 10 years, like tries to do Peter Pan, and it's just like a horrible disaster, and I just don't
It's because
understand.
it's one of those things that's what do you call it? It's public domain, so it doesn't matter.
It's technically not public domain, but yeah. I'm just kind of curious, like how they're gonna handle like Tiger Lily and the Native Americans, which
They're
I feel like, has always been this. Well, like, hey man, 2000.
The last time they did it, it was horrific.
Yeah, remember 2015's Pan where they hire Rooney Mara as Tiger Lily?
We should watch that movie for Movie Party because that movie's
Absolutely not. You mean the Pan film, the Peter Pan movie where they sing "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
All right, I'm gonna take over and rip through these faster. We're gonna get an Enchanted sequel called Disenchanted. We're getting
Cool.
Sister Act 3, produced by Tyler Perry, starring
Don't
Whoopi
know
Goldberg.
why.
characters for Rhea. These ones I don't care about.
Yeah, we already did Rhea. There's a Baymax, Zootopia, Tiana, and Moana TV shows happening.
3 out of the 4 seem cool.
Now,
Which
this
they
next
already
one-
did a Baymax. Didn't they already do a Baymax one for Disney?
there's a Big Hero 6 animated TV show that's like kind of neat, but animated pretty badly. So like that's also like kind of my fear with like a lot of these things. It's like, is it going to be animated well? Because if it's not animated well, it's like you got a cool story, but everything looks like garbage.
Lou, before you start ripping through the rest, I want to mention this series really quick. Apparently what happened is that the people behind this entertainment company made an animated like short whatever that says, and literally the title was like, we're going to be better than Disney, and Disney noticed, and that's how we got this series.
Which one?
Smart.
Iwaju, or however you say it. I'm not
Oh
sure.
yeah, the next one, Iwaju. So that is a Disney animation and Pan-African entertainment company. Kuwagali, I'm sorry, will team up to create an all-new science fiction series coming to Disney Plus in 2022.
Looks rad.
Looks rad. The next one is Encanto. Takes place in Colombia. It's a family living in a magical home, directed by Brian Howard, Jared Bush.
Yeah, and the music's
music by Lin-Manuel.
Yeah, and this is basically the next animations, like numbered animation studios film.
Right.
Like after Raya and the whatever dragon.
Yeah,
all this Pixar stuff we can skip except for
Yeah, Soul's coming out. That's going to Disney Plus. And then what's the other Pixar thing?
Big thing
Turning Red.
No, the big thing is that 3 series.
Turning Red looks cool. Like Turning Red's also directed by the person who did Bao. Like so.
They have 3 series on Disney Plus. They have an Up spinoff. They have a Cars spinoff. And they have an original series called Win or Lose about a middle school softball team and a week leading up to the perspective, and each episode is told in the perspective of a different character.
Yep. And then Turning Red into a Red Panda, right?
Their next film is Luca. It's set in Italy. Then
Luca looks great.
Then it's Turning Red.
Luca, I'm like very excited for.
Then it's Turning Red.
All right, and now we can get to the big part of Pixar, which is a Buzz Lightyear, the character, not the toy, backstory. Origin film, animated Pixar movie, voiced by Chris Evans.
So it's like the property that the toy is based off of.
Yes, exactly. Which there was also a cartoon of the same thing. But this is like a 3D rendered.
Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Yes.
From what they said is that the way they imagined Buzz Lightyear is that he was the toy of this character from a crazy cool big action blockbuster movie, and then they're like, all right, we're finally going to make that movie.
Yeah, which is like a super great idea. Like, I would much rather see like Lightyear a Toy Story than like Toy Story 4 or Toy Story 5. Because like to me, like Toy Story 3 is the end of the is the end of the franchise. Like,
I have not seen 4, and I don't know if I ever want to.
Don't.
Same here. I predominantly watch animated shit. Like, I kind of don't really care about watching Toy Story 4.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into Marvel. So we start with a second trailer for WandaVision, which comes out in January. This show looks fucking crazy. It seems like Wanda's being manipulated somehow. We get to see adult Monica Rambeau, and it
just looks so cool.
And America Chavez shows up in the show.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we learned. America Chavez. Yes. Yeah, no, Doctor Strange. She's in.
Sorry. So Doctor Strange.
There's a whole bunch. So yeah, because this is the one that's already been filmed. It's coming out in a couple months, and this is the one where Kat Denning is in it. Monica Rambeau. I don't know if there's and Randall Park. And it seems like they're keeping maybe Wanda had a mental break. This is also ties into all the stuff we've heard about her being the villain in Doctor Strange or the antagonist. And also tying into possibly Spider-Man 3.
Well, Doctor Strange 2
is the next thing that they talked about too.
Yes, that's going to tie into WandaVision and the next Spider-Man. But
yes,
have Rachel McAdams is back. Chiwetel Ejiofor, America Chavez is making her debut. Awesome.
Which Rachel McAdams is a big story, and then he was Ziatil Gomez as America Chavez,
which is cool. And Sam Raimi's directing, confirmed. Great.
Yep, and it ties in directly into WandaVision and Spider-Man.
Falcon and Winter Soldier coming March 19th.
And we got a full trailer, and it looks great.
Fuck yes.
And conceptually, I think it's very poignant what they did, because it seems like, what's his name? Kurt Russell's son?
Wyatt Russell.
Is basically like Trumpian Captain America.
Yeah, he's John Walker, the U.S. agent.
Yes, but he's kind of not playing John Walker. He's playing the other, because there's like 5 or 6 Captain Americas. He is John Walker, but they're pulling more from one of the other guys. But we did see Echo is in this, and Echo is being played by a deaf Native American actress, which is awesome because the character is deaf.
But the girl with the mask.
Which also Echo is a predominant like Daredevil character.
Which ties into a lot of the other rumors, which we'll end up getting to. Echo was Ronin for a time in the comic. She was the first Ronin in the comic books that showed up before Secret Invasion, which we'll also talk about.
I do like the little back and forth we have here between Sam and Bucky in this trailer.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And this one canyon scene reminded me in a good way of the early part of Independence Day, and it's fucking cool.
Next one, Black Widow still coming to theaters in May.
Then we got the trailer for Loki, which looks fucking crazy.
I can't
yeah,
wait.
man. Like, did you ever think that basically, like, the pitch for Loki was going to be like, what if Loki was also a part of Marvel's Men in Black, and also a Quantum Leap?
And also,
it's Quantum Leap, Men in Black. Yeah, because they're saying it's what do you call it? Like, it's a thriller, I believe, is the term they use.
It's what they described it as is, and I'm looking it up right.
It basically looks like him going, like, working with some organization, going through the time stream to fix like time anomalies. But at some point, he like messes stuff up because he's Loki, and they do like the bit where he tries to run to become president because he has a total vote Loki button.
Yes, and we have Owen Wilson in it, which is really interesting, where he's got his hair cut short. He looks very Howard Stark. He looks like John Slattery.
I hope he's a Peter Henry Gyrick.
Ooh, that would be interesting, and we'll get to some of that in a little bit. But yeah, this show looks crazy. The TVA is the group. They have been around. I think they're like a Kirby creation, maybe?
Maybe.
They're like a 60s or 70s thing.
Owen Wilson.
They're the time variance something. But yeah, we see stuff. There's stuff from what looks like a Cap, Black Widow. There's like a whole bunch of little intercut things.
Like people were like, oh, it's that moment where it's like someone flies over and it looks like Black Widow is sitting next to like the giant rock where she killed herself.
Yeah, but
the big money shot is when he just goes, Heimdall, you better be ready, jumps out of the airplane, and the Bifrost catches in midair.
Yep.
Yeah, like, which I feel like is like, what if Mission Impossible was also superhero?
Yep.
I'm cool with that. The last few were great, but
and then we got like What If, the animated series, like
which is the last thing we'll get with
trailers.
Well, not just that, but with what's his name playing T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman did voice this.
Who I will say, props to Marvel for coming out and saying we are not going to recast T'Challa.
Yeah, I'm like so excited for like what if Agent Peggy Carter was also Captain Britain.
Oh it's Captain Britain. It's T'Challa as Star-Lord. It's Marvel Zombies. It's something with Doctor Strange versus Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like the whole Watcher thing was cool.
Yeah, well, like, and I think the Watcher is like the through line. Like, he's like the fabric that sews all these stories together.
Yeah. We got kind of like the confirmed cast for Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, and it's going to come out next July. Again, it's basically everybody we already knew is going to be in it. It has a great cast.
Razor Fist is a nice touch, but then we got a Miss Marvel sizzle reel.
Yes, a Miss Marvel sizzle reel, and we got some glimpses of what the costume design might be. There's some footage. Yes, a couple. Yeah, some footage. I love that she's actually a kid, which I think is going to be a through line for a lot of the stuff we're going to see from the MCU in this round.
Yep, because we have American Chavez, we have her, we have like some of the other characters they'll be announcing later. Yeah, it's like they got a Young Avengers crew building up.
Yep, announcement for Captain Marvel 2, bringing Brie Larson back,
which is also going to have Miss Marvel. And
and Monica Rambeau, and
directed by the woman who's doing the Candyman remake. So,
ooh,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. Yeah, like that movie looked good.
yeah,
I can't remember. Turtles is
And
coming.
then like also
yeah.
the new actress for Miss Marvel will also be in Captain Marvel too.
Yes. Basically, a very little bit about Eternals, except that it's going to be an epic story spanning thousands of years.
They're like, hey, Eternals supposed to be out last month, will be out next year. So
yeah, Hawkeye, which there were some leaks of like set photos where we got to see Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. And
the best Hawkeye.
And they had the dog in the photos too.
Yeah, man. Pizza dog.
And then this next one is She-Hulk. They confirmed Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters. Tim Roth is coming back as Abomination, and Mark Ruffalo will also appear in the series.
I'm like so excited for She-Hulk. I want that show to be so good.
I love Tatiana Maslany.
What is she in?
She was from Orphan Black, and she was also in Perry Mason.
Did not see either of those, so
she won an Emmy.
That's cool.
They announced that Moon Knight's still a thing.
Yeah, so. Moon Knight looks cool.
I guess this is where we start to get into stuff that is new that we did not know about. So the first one is Secret Invasion. So starring Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn is returning as Talos. So this will be
a Disney Plus show.
A Disney Plus show.
I'm not like super high like on the comic of Secret Invasion. Like it has its moments, but like it also kind of like wastes a lot of time. So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
It's a good thing to like fix some issues if they want to.
Yep.
I think this is where we start to get into again connecting to younger characters. Also coming soon to Disney Plus, Riri Williams in Ironheart, an original series.
That's so cool.
Pretty good.
Looking at the actress now, she's only done 2 movies to her name. Judas and the Black Messiah she'll be in, and
I cannot wait for that movie too. So, and then we also got announced Don Cheadle's returning as Rhodey, War Machine and Armor Wars, also an original series.
The big idea is, what if Tony Stark's armor falls into the wrong hands?
Yep. Pulling from the comic, the 70s comic, I think.
Which I kind of feel like also wasn't it the story of Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3?
Yeah. Iron Man 2 is like a bad version. Iron Man 3 is extremist.
Yeah.
We're getting a goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Directed by James Gunn. Written and directed by James Gunn.
I can't wait.
And a Baby Groot series of shorts.
We have confirmation that Christian Bale is the villain of Thor 4, and he will be God Butcher.
Yep. And Thor Love and Thunder is coming out May 2022.
Which basically also kind of confirms that like this movie's going to be based around the Jason Aaron version of Thor.
Yeah, which they pretty much have said, I think.
I mean, like,
yeah.
We have confirmation that Blade is still happening.
Blade's still happening.
Ant-Man 3 has a title, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yep, and Casey Lang will be in the movie.
As Catherine
Newman. Yeah, Catherine Newman will be playing Casey Lang. I don't know if she was in the other movies.
She was not.
I wish,
she was not.
Yeah.
I wish Quantumania was also in the WrestleMania font.
I think the next one is the big story, right?
So, well, no, hold on. They said that they're, like we said, they're not going to recast T'Challa. But yeah, the big story here is that we not only got a Fantastic Four confirmation for the MCU, but it will be directed by John Watts, aka the man who directed the last 2 Spider-Man movies.
Which I like Homecoming and I like Far From Home. I don't know if like that's the guy you want to get to direct a Fantastic Four film.
I disagree. I would say I think it's a good idea because what Homecoming, specifically Homecoming, does is addresses the Peter is just a kid from a small neighborhood, like family, like very small, like building those interpersonal relationships, which pretty much none of the other Fantastic Four movies have done.
Except for the Corman version.
Yeah, but that's like...
That doesn't count. I get it. But I think like also like I feel like for Fantastic Four film, you need like someone who's kind of like an exciting like director, like stylistically, like I just
But didn't they do?
I
Didn't that get done?
I just feel like it's like you don't want like a Tim story to happen again. You know, it's like you get the guy from Barbershop to do a superhero action film, and it just like lacks like any impact, or like does not
but
have
he's
any.
already. But this guy's already done 2 superhero action films.
You know who's been talking about doing a Fantastic Four movie for like years now is Peyton Reed.
I would rather have
John Watts.
I would rather have the Spider-Man director than the Ant-Man director. And
Well,
I say that as someone who actually like really likes the Ant-Man films, like, but like the Ant-Man films also are like not, they don't really have like any kind of like personality to them, like filming wise.
Yeah, what I'll say is like I think what we have never seen live action wise for Fantastic Four is like the idea that this is the first family of the Marvel universe, and I feel like having the guy who did Homecoming and family is kind of a big part of that, and like the close, like it's a small cast really in a Homecoming, like it's really a small cast, and I think that's what you kind of need to do. And I think you could also get what you get some of in Homecoming, where I don't know, maybe it's me, but I feel like Homecoming has a very like 80s movie vibe to it.
Yeah,
and I think that could work like thematically, like in how you like set them up. Like not that they would be from the 80s, but like my always thought is to have them be like time displays that they're actually from like the 50s or the 60s.
I would love that idea.
Possibly. I think like also at the end of the day, it's like this movie is going to be, it's like carried on the backs of like 3 characters. It's, you know, whoever you cast as Sue, whoever you cast as Ben Grimm, and whoever you cast as Doctor Doom. Which I assume like, you know, Doctor Doom is in the first movie. Like,
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things you could go Mole Man.
you could do Mole Man. You could do Puppet Master.
Yeah, I almost feel like you don't like you would have Doom around, like, as like somebody who was with them maybe when they got time to. I don't know. I wouldn't do that either. I don't know. Like, I feel like you want to hold on to Doom, but you don't know. Kang is. We know Kang is in Ant-Man, so we knew this was going to happen. It would be interesting, to me, if they start and they already have the kids. Like, I wouldn't mind them already having Franklin and is it Valeria?
Valeria.
Yeah, like I wouldn't mind especially if they're time displaced and the kids are like 5 or 6.
I do really like Valeria.
I think that would add a different dynamic that we have not seen in any MCU movie. Is like actual kind of young kids being connected to like heroes. We kind of got a little bit in the first Ant-Man, but not really anything else. We're, as you can tell, we are running out of steam. But that is pretty much the last big Disney thing, right?
I'm going to do the HBO Max hype train.
Yes.
I'm going to be fast about this. Okay, so HBO Max announced that every single Marvel or Warner Brothers film within at least 2021 will show up day and date in theaters also on HBO Max. Which was also pretty cool is that unlike Disney, where they make you have to pay $30 as a premium fee, like it seems like you don't have to pay that with HBO Max.
No, you're not paying for it. So yeah, the first one's Wonder Woman's coming out Christmas Day.
Yep.
I think the other big ones are Dune.
Godzilla versus God.
So Mortal Kombat comes out in January. We have no trailer. We have no stills. We have nothing to kind of like go on. It's just it comes out.
They say it exists.
Yeah. Tom and Jerry comes out in March.
No one cares.
To be fair,
looks okay.
To be fair, I will give, because there are a lot of filmmakers and people pissed right now that Warner Bros. Didn't give much notice. With some people, like Denis Villeneuve, I understand the frustration. With people like Christopher Nolan, who decided to release a movie and pushed for one in the middle of a pandemic, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy and his high horse. Kong versus Godzilla.
But I'm still mad.
Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong coming out in May from Adam Wingard. So it's probably going to be bad because Adam Wingard, I don't think has made a good movie.
The guest, excuse you.
He has not made a good movie.
How dare you? Blue, you'll be happy that what is it? Judas and the Black Messiah is on the list.
I am so happy for that movie. That's also a movie like it doesn't need. That's like a movie I don't need to see in theaters. I will be sad to not see Godzilla in theaters because that's like the way you should watch those kind of movies, or like Dune.
Am I like on an island on my own that thinks like the last 2 American Godzilla films were bad?
The second one's fine.
I haven't seen the second one.
I love Kong Skull Island. Like I think the movie is like a fucking hoot.
And that's the one I haven't seen. I have not seen Kong Skull Island.
You're also supposed to get the Sopranos prequel. You're getting Space Jam 2 In the Heights.
So Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It is in June 4th, which I guess is a sequel to The Conjuring. In the Heights, which is a adaptation of a big Broadway play, comes out also in June. Space Jam: A New Legacy comes out in July. That's the LeBron James sequel to Space Jam. It sounds wild.
If it's true, yeah.
Bad.
Why?
Moving on.
The Suicide Squad in August. That movie looks so fucking fun. I can't wait for it
because like I want to see it. And if I can do it without having to give Warner Brothers extra money because they don't deserve it, then that makes me happier.
Hey man, like I want to reward like DC when they do a good job. Like I want to reward them when they do like the Snyder Cut and whatever dumb stuff.
You are correct. I think I'm on like I watched can't remember her name that did like the Snyder going through Snyder stuff. And I'm kind of like on DC right now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to look up her name.
Grace Randall?
No, Maggie May Fish.
Oh, okay.
She did she just released like her 3rd-part video on like why Snyder is not a good filmmaker.
Yeah, so they had, I think Dune was next, which I will see because it's Denis Villeneuve.
Yep.
Yes.
Dune is October.
Hopefully then we can go see that in theaters at that point.
With the movie with the butthole worms, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I remember?
Elvis.
And everybody's in it.
Elvis with Tom Hanks as his manager, which we all should go see because Tom Hanks is the first who got coronavirus while making this damn movie.
Isn't like Tom Hanks like Colonel Parker?
Yeah, that's the manager, Colonel Parker. Yeah, he's the bad guy of the Elvis story.
And then The Matrix 4 is out in December, which I'm actually like very excited for that movie. Like I like The Matrix. Like sure, like 2 and 3 are like not great, but like I love Speed Racer. Like that's a film I'll die on a hill for. And Jupiter Ascending, while also being very terrible, is like a super fun movie. And I really hope that The Matrix is good.
The other big ones I will say that are coming out with no date, like we said, Mortal Kombat. You also have the new Clint Eastwood movie, Cry Macho. You have the new James Wan original movie.
Which like I don't think will be good. Like it's been a long time since Clint Eastwood has done a good movie.
No, I like Jersey Boys, so I'll give him that.
I think Jersey Boys is like kind of a terrible film.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Like it's a stage movie that's filmed filmed as like a live as a movie, but like it still wants to be like a live like a stage film. It's just like I don't get it.
Well, okay, you want a bad Clint Eastwood movie that he directed? Go watch the 1517 of Paris.
I do not. I absolutely do not.
Like I said, the new James Wan original horror movie, Malignant, which I'm very excited for, that he's directing and writing. Or no, he's directing, and he has a story. Those Who Wish Me Dead, which is the new action movie from the guy who wrote Sicario, Hell or High Water, and directed Wind River, all 3 of which are great movies. So I'm very excited that he has a new one coming out. And then you also have King Richard coming out in November, which is the Will Smith movie about the father of Venus and Serena Williams.
Does that guy have a story?
I guess he does.
It's like, why not just do a film about Venus and Serena Williams? Like, why is it got to be about the father of Venus and Serena Williams?
Man. Who knows? But yeah, now I'm fading because I have spoken a lot today.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yes.
I saw the note about be right back, and I was like, okay, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I was just gone for a second. It's late. I had to use the restroom. So yeah, we're kind of wrapped up. I think if you were listening to this and thinking we were going to cover Wolverine Origins, I think we might do that before we actually watch the movie, because I don't think it'll take us that long to talk about it. There was just kind of a ton of news to talk about this week. Quick round of plugs. I don't know. John Scott, you want to start?
I'm on Twitter, jamscott193. Go follow the rest of the shows and everything and all that. I know it's a lose line, but I'm also just tired.
You can find me on Twitter at John JOHN_FN_ Seiler SEILER. It's also the same handle on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, like, I mostly just like tweet out stuff about work and memes and VTubers I'm watching.
Yeah, and listen to all the shows. We're still doing Smallville Chronicles. We just watched our newest in-between season. We watched the pilot for Birds of Prey. I forgot about it because it's so forgettable. It's not good. It's very bad.
Wait, what?
We watched the pilot for the 2002 TV show Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, I really love that Birds of Prey movie.
No, you know who's in the pilot episode?
I could not tell you.
One of the biggest TV stars of the last 10 years, when he's really, really young, on the same network as Walking Dead, but different show.
I could not tell you.
Okay. Jesse Pinkman.
The star of Need for Speed?
Yes. He plays he's in the show. He's only in that one episode. It's sort of like you watch it and the person who's kind of the lead is the person who's done the least in the show. It's not good too. If you want to watch a 2000s era female-led action show, watch Buffy, Dark Angel, Alias. Don't watch Birds of Prey. But yeah, check out all those other things we're going to read and watch. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Ugh.
And follow me. Or should I say follow my new puppy that I just got on Instagram and TikTok. Notorious Rose BG. She's a little tiny Labrador puppy. And me and my wife, if you follow on TikTok, I'm running the TikTok. My wife is running Instagram. We're trying to see who can get an endorsement first. That's our goal. She was a monster today, and I wanted to smother her with a pillow, but she's too cute. That kind of does it for us. We'll catch you guys next time. Adios.
Bye.
I got nothing. I said I got nothing, robot.
So I guess I'll join the Great Lakes Avengers. They offered me a membership, and so I did, except no better walk into disaster. I find a heart to go to something that cannot be sold, 'cause they're the worst shoes of all time. It's remarkable they ever stop a crime. Sitting poolside with 3 beer in life, so I guess I'll stick around.